What's up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. So as you can tell by the title, continuing the slew of crazy news that has come out the last day or so, we have quite a bit to discuss in this video. So first up here on the docket, the first thing that I noticed in this live stream drop of the wave, I'm skimming through the information, is that the leader class price, it's gone up. It is no longer $54.99, it seems like. It's now $59.99. And we saw this price increase with the new Onyx Prime that's coming out on Hasbro. And I made a video on that like a week or two ago. And yeah, this is absolutely ridiculous, guys. I am not paying over 60, like after tax and shipping, depending on how much shipping is, where you order from, you're looking at pretty much a $70 figure now. I mean, that is if you order online and depending on where you order from with shipping price. But if you get in stores, you're looking at like $65 or something around that range after tax. So, guys, you're paying damn near $70 for a leader class now. That's insane. Leader classes just 5-6 years ago were like $55 after tax, you know? Man, and I actually really do want this Megatron. I'm on the fence about this because of this price increase, you know? Leader class just doesn't feel the way it used to be. Sure, you have a bit more articulation, but that's not really a good trade-off. Like, everything else is in the negative, if you ask me. Plastic quality, paint, sculpt, accessories, features. It doesn't feel the same, and you're paying way more. Leader class, when it was actually leader class and lived up to the name, it was 40 freaking bucks. $20 later, look at what we're getting. I mean, shoot, damn near $30 later if you're counting tax and shipping and all those extra charges. So, nah, I am not happy about that. But there's some other a bit more interesting things to talk about here. I don't want to like dwell on that the whole video. I may make a separate video on that a little while from now, giving some more in-depth thoughts on what's going on here. But for this video, I want to move on because there's some other things I want to discuss. So the next thing I want to talk about here is the info that was given in this live stream. So for 86 Megatron, it was the same Takara designer as AOTP Fallen, which makes sense. That figure's peak too. Has butterfly joints like the 86 Optimus. So that's amazing. Can't wait to see how that works. The tank mode is the new standard going forward due to legal, but the question was asked internally before production, blaster or tank. I mean, this is obvious at this point, guys. I mean, we're going on for like 15 years, 15, 20 years of this. If you're surprised by this little piece of info here at this point, I don't know what to tell you guys, you know. But it's interesting that they did kind of ask the question internally, that they were still kind of thinking about if they could do it, but I mean, obviously, ultimately they can't. And then some more info here. Tank said to be based on the unproduced M8 armored gun system from the 80s. I have no idea what that's referring to. I'm not a tank nut or whatever that's based off of. So, War for Cybertron Thundercracker has yellow eyes to match in-game model, whereas concept art had red. Very cool. I like that accuracy. 86 Mixmaster is deluxe size, but at Voyager price point due to the needs of being a leg. I don't know how I feel about that. You know, they were doing combiners just fine at deluxe class 9-10 years ago. Not even, I mean, counting re-releases or reissues. So, I don't know, paying damn near $40 for a deluxe combiner figure, that really doesn't seem too complex to begin with. That seems a little fishy to me, but that's just what we're doing these days, I guess. Devastator done by Hisui-san, just like CW, very cool. KSI Widow has real McLaren licensed all mode based on concept art, but color shaded and attached to McLaren seen in film. That's interesting because we originally thought it wasn't going to be a McLaren and blah blah blah, and it was going to be a Pagani, and then it wasn't going to be. There was a lot of rumors going around. It is weird that her colors are a bit different than that figure that leaked. She seems like darker if I remember correctly, so that's a little odd, but still looks great. I'm probably going to get that figure. Alita has heels in the mining jetpack, which attaches to all mode and can attach to Megatron B and Prime. Other TF1 Seekers teased can be difficult due to unique designs, but will have the appropriate retooling. So that's really cool. I'm looking forward to more Seekers as always. Alita having that feature with the jetpack, I love it. Give me more of it with Transformer stuff like that and accessories. Then some more stuff goes on to say here, 2026 won't be HOS, but will be same 4 characters in a different period theme. We do already have listings for next year's little mini-series of this sub-line, so I'm really excited to see who that's going to be. Hopefully, maybe Transtech, that's what I'm gunning for, but it could literally be anything. Transformers is so vast. They recognize that people want Hearts of Steel Shockwave. They hear it a lot, they said, which makes sense. I would love to see a leader class boat Shockwave at some point in the next couple years. I know slots are bloated right now, but if they could pull that off in like 2028 or something, or 27, that would be pretty crazy. They showed gray model prototypes for TF1 Deluxe Arachnid and Voyager Alpha Trion, which look really cool. I don't really care about getting figures from this movie, but these do look pretty peak. I may get Arachnid because, you know, they don't make a lot of figures of Arachnid or Black Arachnia, that whole type of character. So I may just jump in on that figure. But they also said potential for more future gray model previews to get ahead of leaks in response to Megatron's situation. That's pretty crazy. I do like the way they're thinking. I mean, it seems pretty obvious to me. They're the ones that make these figures. They actually have it. So why not get ahead with the marketing and the leaks and just show it off yourself? You're the one that made the product. You have it. Why wait all this time to show it off? You know, it's absolutely ridiculous. This has been an issue that we've been complaining about for years now. So the fact that they're finally kind of addressing this is a little bit ridiculous that it took this long. But at the same time, you know, it's still good that they're finally taking some initiative with this issue. Now, one of the bigger pieces of news here, Mudflap and Skids are eventually happening, but not right now. Combiners are a big task. 2 biggest names they hear are Defensor and Predaking in response to Commander price point. Rail Racer Love also noted, and Monstructor. The pieces are out there, can't say when or if, but they won't be dinosaurs. And the last thing here is they put up a poll. Do you want to see G1 characters that appeared in Season 1 and 2 that did not appear in the 86 movie in the SS86 toy line? So let's talk about these things. So first up, Skids and Mudflap. This has been pretty elusive the last few years with Studio Series. I'm pretty sure a few years ago they said they weren't going to do him, but now maybe they're backtracking and they realize there's kind of hype around these characters and nostalgia still. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see these deluxe class figures in the next couple years. But Studio Series does seem very bloated with all these different sublines now. And they are prioritizing other movie figures like Transformers 1 and different Bayverse characters before Skids and Mudflap, obviously. They're not that important, and plus the controversy around them and everything. But it seems like they are finally starting to recognize that a lot of people still want these characters made, and they probably would sell pretty fairly well if they were made. So this is a step in the right direction. I do think they should make Skids and Mudflap to complete the teams and get things going. So I'm happy with this answer. I do like that they're now on the table. It seems like basically everything is on the table at this point with these lines, which is amazing. I love it. Keep it coming. And the 2 biggest names like Defensor and Predicating in response to Commander price point, that's interesting. I mean, it does make sense. I feel like those are kind of random for that ask, but at the same time, you know, they are pretty popular combiners, so it does make sense. But the thing that's throwing me off is, would those be next after Bruticus? Like, would it be Defensor and Prediking? Like, Defensor for 27, then Predaking for 28, or maybe vice versa. I don't know. That could be pretty crazy, but I do not want these two taking up commander class slots for another 2 years in a row for G1 combiner characters. That is absolutely ridiculous. They should be leader class at least. I just don't like that, but they're going to have to wait and see, I guess. The whole Rail Racer thing, they noted that people ask about him a lot. That's awesome. I'm really happy to see that they're acknowledging that, because Rail Racer is just a peak design and character, guys. RD 2001 deserves the love. All these designs from that show are great, and I would love to see Voyager or Leader class remakes of all three of those characters so they can combine into one big, huge train hunk robot thingy. I would love that. Monstructor, that would be cool, but I don't really care about that character. But I'm sure it's going to come out at some point. Everything is on the table, they've been saying, so not really surprised there. The biggest thing that I want to close this video out on is us more than likely getting G1 characters from Season 1 and 2 in the SS-86 toy line, basically SS-84 for the cartoon as a whole. This is something that people have been fearing for the last couple of years since we got SS-86 introduced into Studio Series. So it seems like a lot of people's biggest fears may just be met in the next couple of years. And how does chrisjaammm feel about this? Well, I'm not surprised. SS-86 seems to be one of, if not the best selling line for Hasbro right now. Probably right with regular Generations and Bayverse Studio Series stuff if they're considering expanding it. So it does make sense from a money perspective, marketing, all that stuff. It's G1, you know, it sells. Are we going to be stuck on a loop here? Is the franchise going to be stuck on a loop? I'm probably going to be talking about this more in the future in separate videos, so I don't want to like hog up this video, but I feel like there's a lot to unpack here with this possibility and this probably happening now. I'm not too happy about it myself. I feel like there's a lot of other characters from different eras of the franchise that need either updates or just figures completely made that have never gotten figures or got canceled in the past that need to be made for the modern era and put out. So we're just going to have to wait and see on how this is handled. But you know, redos of G1 characters we already have taking up slots for years to come. It feels like it's never going to end. I'm a little weirded out by this, but at the same time, it does feel like something that would just happen inevitably because of how things are with the franchise. But I'm going to leave it at that for now. I'm probably going to do a separate video going more in depth on the possibilities in the future of the SS-84 toy line going forward. But yeah, guys, let me know down in the comments below. How do y'all feel about this slew of crazy info that we got from this live stream yesterday? And yeah, thank y'all for watching this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.